Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hysteria Projects. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. These are general messages. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. Emotional clarity sharpens your intuition. You definitely have had some curiosities about some things, including your emotions, but more specifically, you've been curious about things that stirred up emotions within you. You asked for guidance, you've asked for help, you've asked for clarity, and you have received that clarity. Yeah, intuitive healing, guiding you towards a deeper healing. It's giving off this you having completed, you having come out on the other side of a lot of things here. You have this, you have this peaceful, warm energy about you. That was something that wasn't exactly easy to obtain. But you have completed something here. This inner peace, yeah. This peacefulness. It says, in moments of peace, intuition speaks the loudest. Okay? So you've definitely been practicing stillness. It says, protection through intuition. It shields you from harm. Trust its warnings. You could be very reluctant with certain people in your life, certain situations in your life. You could be getting a bird's eye view or some of this clarity, your signs through dreams, or not even necessarily dreams, but just in your day-to-day life. You could be given signs and glimpses of things, and you know that you're protected, and you're learning to really trust that feeling, and when you are questioning, when you are, I'm gonna say, looking for that clarity, you're going within, you're definitely, I wanted to say meditating, but in this particular instance, I don't feel though it's you necessarily meditating. I think it's more so of you just being aware, being conscious, being observant, not so much dismissing. You're being receptive to the signs. You're receptive to the insight. Follow the signs. Pay attention to signs around you. They carry important messages, okay? That's exactly what we're talking about. And one of these signs that you could have been getting is, this, I'm going to say a change in your dating life. And if this isn't you, this is somebody in your energy that you could be getting signs about. Okay, so take it how it resonates. But either you or you're getting signs about somebody here that, I'm gonna say, had a very open relationship lifestyle. Okay, it's giving swinger, but it doesn't necessarily have to be swinger. It could just be somebody, dating around and having their options open. Okay, that is changing. So whether this is you or whether this is somebody in your energy, that is a part of, life that is changing. Somebody is, I'm going to say, they're focused on other things right now, or, take it how it resonates, you or somebody else, okay? They're more focused on going within. They're more focused on trying to bloom, trying to grow different aspects of their self, cosmic awareness, the cosmos, speak through your intuition, stay open to its messages, and connect with your higher self for greater intuitive clarity. And this is that going within that I was talking about, and this is just somebody or your personal choice, okay? This doesn't mean that you can't have this, higher consciousness and, following your intuition and stuff. And, basically what I'm saying is this is you or this person's personal choice that they no longer want to have that type of lifestyle, okay? If that's what you do, there's nothing wrong with that, but the person we're talking about right now, that either you're getting signs about or you're being led to follow these signs, that is what's changing. You're becoming more open to the cosmos and more open to your higher self and the guidance than being open physically in a physical way, okay? Yeah, I was gonna say, there's also this energy of like kind of being pulled a bunch of different directions, with this clarity and the chaos. It can be a little hard to see things clearly, I'm gonna say, especially if you're getting a lot of information, okay? If you're receiving a lot of downloads, again, with your dreams, you could be receiving messages in your dreams, and these are cosmic messages. These are guiding you. This is like fly on the wall type messages here, okay? And basically what this looks like is that you and somebody else are getting into alignment. Okay. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean alignment with each other. So let's be clear. But alignment in your own paths. All right. So if this person that is changing, their relationship behavior is not you, then this is somebody in your energy that is also on their path, going through this transition. I want to pull some of these before I pull tarot. You could have definitely been in some emotional fog, I'm gonna say. You could have been in some emotional fog. Probably because of all the options, all the temptation all around, right? And you're being helped divinely, with this. You're being helped cosmically to have that clarity so you can heal, and move forward. This is my soulmate, spiritual, like true love card right here. And with this falling under this inner peace and this sense of completion, let me get one more. Yeah, this could mean a couple different things here. So again, this could lead to you and somebody getting into alignment together. But this also could mean that you have, successfully ended and completed some long-term cycles that were happening here. A lot of things that disrupted your peace, all right, that was stifling your growth. And now you're not in all that chaos anymore, okay? So that could go, a couple ways. Yeah. And if you're getting signs about somebody in your dreams, trust those signs. Trust those signs. Trust what you're being shown. because those signs are protection. Those signs are your warnings, you know, to let you know when, you know, things that aren't good for you, you know, are trying to conflict with your path. You know, this is protection, you know, self-awareness. They're bringing you the clarity through your dreams, you know, and there could be somebody that's trying to project onto you and affect your dreams. And if that's the case, you are so protected from that. Like, it's not even a blimp on the radar, okay? So, you know, nothing to worry about at all. But anything you are being shown, all of these signs, you know, you're being guided to trust those. Trust that guidance. And you could be getting signs about a particular person, okay, that came off as two-faced, you know, somebody that was wearing a mask with you. And or this could be you, you know, take it how it resonates again, all right? Let me pull one more on that. Yeah. This is somebody that used to be a people pleaser. This is somebody that was just following the crowd, you know, doing what everybody else was doing. You know, and the signs are leading this person to change their ways, to stand out from the crowd, you know, to not be like one of all, you know, everybody else. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, for those of you that this is another person, you know, your paths definitely crossed for a reason. You both have helped each other to bloom, helped each other to change in your own ways, okay? And I'm also getting that you've helped discover deeper parts of yourself, and you've helped discover your higher self even. You know, you could have been very out of tune with your higher self. Yeah. Very out of tune. You know, and this has triggered this change. This trying to get your life balanced back out. This growth. There's so many options. And this is aimed towards this person that's changing had very lustful ways, okay? Just constantly thinking, wandering eye, just very all over the place. And yeah, you both are growing, okay? You're both rising. And again, if this is you, if this is not another person, you're changing, you're blossoming. You know, you're growing from the mud. You're finding that light within yourself that is yourself. You no longer, you're that light within, you know, you're setting yourself free by doing that. Light, you know. And there's always going to be paths, there's always going to be options, there's always going to be temptation. There's always going to be room for growth. You know. I want to pull one, yeah. This is somebody that is following their heart. You know, this is somebody that doesn't want to have all of these options, because through all of these options caused a lot of chaos. You know, being everywhere. You know, and you could only give a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, this is somebody that is wanting to pour that into one and pour that into self. I do really like the energy of this. You know, there's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of transformation here. on both ends. You know, you've made a difference to people even if you're not aware. You've dealt with a lot of immaturity, you know, a lot of people that wasn't consistent, you know, and you were curious why these things triggered you the way that they did, you know. So you looked for clarity, and you know, this juggling energy here, you know, this so many options. It I'm gonna say, you know, the truth hurt, but the truth is always better than a lie. And you were asking for the truth. You were asking for clarity. You received that, you know, so you could heal and get your peace back, you know. It's Two of Cups. Again, like I said, this is my soulmate, you know, card. This Two of Cups is a soulmate. You know, for some of you, you know, this is about a soulmate. There's the signs that you're receiving, you know, there's people that feel left out in the cold. There's people that I'm not going to say look like, they feel like they have nowhere to go. You know, they feel like they're on the outside looking in at your life. These are people that you could have already walked away from, you know. This could be that soulmate energy here that caused you a lot of stress that you know, walked away from here. The signs that you're receiving are warnings, you know, about this. You know, they don't want you to lose everything, okay? So they're trying to keep you safe from potential harm. You're being asked very heavily to follow the signs and follow your guidance, you know. The Hanged Man, get a new perspective. Change the way that you're seeing things, because somebody is changing their behavior. Somebody has changed how they're operating, how they're moving in the world, how they're thinking. And again, this could be you, so, you know, take it how it resonates. You know, and if this isn't you, you know, this is somebody that I'm going to say is sorry. Genuinely sorry. For the way that they used to think, for the way that they used to look at things, you know. Both you and this person have gone through some major, major transformations, and both of you are blooming. This Ace of Pentacles. And I will say this as well. This this Two of Cups here, this doesn't necessarily have to be the person that you walked away from, that you're getting warning signs about. You know, this could be that incoming energy, right? With this Ace of Pentacles coming out, that's a new stable foundation here. And the Eight of Wands, that's fast movement. That's fast communication. You know, the divine is bringing this in quickly for you. You know, there's been huge transformation, okay? Death, rebirth, transformation. There's been huge transformation. beautiful. It is. There's nothing bad about this energy. Like, it feels very peaceful. It feels very guided. It feels like there's been a lot of thought put in this. Oh my God. Hanging on to that happiness for the Ten of Cups. That clarity and chaos, you know, again, whether it's you or someone in your energy, this is somebody that is not letting go to the idea that they can have happiness and an emotionally fulfilling life, a family. You know, not giving little pieces here and there to everybody. You know, becoming whole, having that union, that Two of Cups here. Holding on to that, you know. I really, really do love this energy. This energy is very authentic and genuine, okay? This is real transformation. This is real growth. This is real inner peace. I want to pull a final message. What do I want to pull? Let's pull some. Follow your intuition. Follow the signs that you're being guided towards. You know, just pay attention to what's around you and trust it. Trust it. It's very clear that you're open and receptive, and you know, you do ask for clarity, you do look for healing, and you do, you know, have that peace, you know. So continue to do what you're doing, you know, continue to follow the signs, and any signs that you are being given about, you know, things that you've ended or things that really bring up emotional distress or anything of that nature, you know, pay attention to those because they're warning signs. They're being guided so you can avoid all of that, so you don't have to go through those things. You know, you don't have to go through this blindly. You're being gifted the answers, you know, but the answers are personal to you. That's why you have to follow the signs that you're being shown. You know? And this could be through your dreams. This could be just through everyday life. Final messages, please. We rise when we stop reaching alone. Oh, shit. Connection. We are made of threads too soft to see and trust. Float on the current that has always known the way. All right, so I'm telling you, I mean, there's actual growth and healing here. And with unity and connection, you know, this Two of Cups, this Ten of Cups, there is alignment here. There really is. And the alignment is of this Ten of Cups. The alignment is of this happiness. After this transformation and not having let go and given up on the idea of your own happiness and what that may look like. I hope this message helped. Until next time.